Welcome to the Kee To Growth Podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you're in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success, starting now.
Key Marketing specializes in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to build your brand awareness or drive leads using social media ads. If you're ready to elevate your social media, go to keyheartmarketing.com or follow us on social media. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Kee To Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Jen McKee, and I've got a repeat guest on today that I am so excited to talk about all things marketing, AI, search, like all of the things that you are questioning, trying to figure out if you're behind, are you ahead, are you figuring out? I don't know. Hopefully Josh can tell us. So today we have Josh Crouch from Relentless Digital. Josh, if people don't know who you are, please let them know.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again, Jen. We always enjoy talking. I know when we come to events, I feel like we have like a circle of like trusted people and confidants that we always talk marketing stuff with. So, and obviously, you know, the social media side, I mean, I do a lot for my own social stuff, but like, as far as doing it in mass and looking at all the data and stuff, it's always interesting to see how that plays out apart, because we're in this weird age where people search everywhere. I know SEO, everyone knows the search engine optimization, but I literally think we should just rebrand it to search everywhere optimization, because literally homeowners will find you on 10, 12, 15 platforms now. But, and we can get into that a little bit more, but I founded Relentless Digital about 6.5 years ago in 2020, about 2 weeks before the pandemic, because I got really good at local I know it was actually, you know, it's funny that people say it's like,
it is really great timing.
It was great because I was in home services. If I would have been in legal or medical or some other thing, like it would have probably been terrible. And I would have been like, why did I quit my job?
I was in restaurants. That was my niche. And I was like, wow, this is not going to be good at all. I'm going to lose every client.
That industry took a few years of beating for a few years. So I started, and I was in the home service industry. Before that, I worked at 3 different HVAC companies. The last of which I got really good at local SEO, which most people think of as Google Maps or Google Business Profiles. And just had people reach out because I do what I do now, share good educational content. People said, hey, can you help me? That's basically how the business started. And so that's been my journey. And now we're about 150 clients and serve a few different trades, just like yourself.
That's so awesome. There's so many things that we can talk about, but I think that the first thing that I really want to talk about is this Yelp and ChatGPT situation, because it honestly makes me really uncomfortable. And I don't even I mean, I guess mostly for my clients, but also just because I feel like Yelp they're unfair. Like I think as like,
I feel like you're really trying to choose your words there.
Right. I'm like, they can listen to this. But I know what everybody else knows. Anybody with any sort of service business has experienced Yelp seemingly hiding reviews, which gives you low ratings, which makes it very difficult to rank well on Yelp. And so many people have just said, forget it. Like, I'm not even going to deal with that. And it moved on. And now with this, so what happened? ChatGPT bought Yelp, or there was a partnership that was put in place?
Yeah, you can think of it like, if anyone's heard the news about like Reddit and their partnerships with Google, Reddit's partnership with ChatGPT, essentially it's a partnership. So I'm sure there's money from the press release I saw. It was undisclosed. They didn't disclose like what it was, but essentially ChatGPT and Yelp are making a partnership. So that way Yelp reviews and stuff probably feed into that, especially when you're looking for like local businesses, restaurants, hotels, that sort of thing. Those reviews will feed into the results, which of course is back to the original problem that you stated, is that most people's Yelp profile doesn't look good. Like if you go on Apple Maps, and because you can see some Yelp listings and Yelp reviews there, it's very hard to find a contractor over a 4.0. Yelp reviewers are like, they're terrible. They just complain about everything. And it creates a big problem, because on Google, it's hard to find a contractor under a 4.5. You can find them, but it's pretty rare. And then you go to Yelp and it's like, you can't find anyone over a 4.0. And most people don't want to pay Yelp. They feel like it's a pay to play, which I can't argue with them because I have seen it where all of a sudden they're paying for ads and their reviews are recommended. Even though Yelp has gone on the record, I listened to some of Cristiano's podcasts with it was a CEO or president of Yelp, and and they tell you one thing, it just doesn't feel like what they're telling you is the actual truth. Either they don't know how their algorithm works, or somebody's not going to say, well, we're not hiding those reviews because you're not paying us, because then they would probably get in legal trouble if they did that.
One of the reasons I could say that Yelp is pay to play is because they probably have some of the best salespeople that I've ever encountered in my life when it comes to follow up, consistency, like tricking you into talking to them. So they've obviously
if anyone ever needs a salesperson, when the Yelp guy calls or Yelp gal calls, hire them because they're probably trained pretty well. I remember I was a branch manager at the second HVAC company that I worked at. So I was basically my own boss there. I did have a boss, but he was an hour away and we didn't get together a couple times a month. So I got to run the branch the way I wanted to. And I remember getting a listing and doing all this stuff. And then Yelp started calling in, and I told them, I said, I can't make that decision to spend the money, but they well, let's go through and let's put the ad together all the way to the end. And then you can show it to your boss. And they tried to get me to put in a credit card anyways. I'm like, I told you, it's not my company. I can't just go spend this money. It was a new branch. So I didn't have a lot of cash anyways. And it was just, they're very, I don't know what the word is, conniving maybe.
No, I know.
Their process is very shady. I don't love it.
I know. And anyways, so it's not the reason for me not loving Yelp isn't just because they hide reviews, but there's so much about their practices that doesn't feel authentic. And I'll say, on the other hand, the industry has created a process for Google reviews that may not align with authenticity with Google because of some of the things like saying people's names. And it's a little bit, what is the word? It's prompted. The reviews are a little bit prompted, which is why Yelp is hiding them, because they feel that way, which they are kind of that way. But at the same time, it's not like contractors don't get bad reviews, because they do sometimes. It's just that they get so many good reviews because they prioritize reviews that they're able to keep their rating up, which is a great representation of who they are. I think it's still pretty accurate.
It absolutely is. I think we're coming up in an age, and I know Yelp, you're not supposed to send a link. You can. You can. They still, from what I understand, Yelp prefers people that are active on their profile or on their platform.
That are
so if you're an active Yelper, those reviews will stay recommended. I'm like, well, how many people are actually active regularly on Yelp?
Correct.
We have all these social media profiles, Google, ChatGPT, and they're gonna care if they're active on Yelp.
But then you have to curate active Yelpers, right? So then it's when you're looking for influencers for your brand, rather than thinking about who's going to recommend me on Instagram, who's going to recommend me on Yelp, and let me find those people and see if I can do services for them. It still creates an authentic experience in order to get your business up, I feel like.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like a lot of people who leave Yelp reviews and are active Yelpers are just miserable people. They don't like giving anyone a good review. It just feels like that. And I think you can actually see their profile and see how many bad reviews and stuff they've given. And a lot of these guys just give a lot of bad reviews. And it's are you ever happy with anything? You want everything for free and you want great service? It's not going to happen. It does bring up a point about a review generation strategy on more than Google. Right. And it started to be this transition of a talk, because if you go to Bing, yes, Bing is still around, and Bing places they pull Facebook reviews in. Apple pulls Yelp. ChatGPT is now going to pull Yelp. Obviously you have Google reviews, and then some of the voice, and there's all these voice search platforms are connected to these other sources. So a lot of times Yelp is the trust source. So, and then there's other sources that feed into AI searches. Nextdoor, Better Business Bureau. A lot of people don't don't even focus on getting reviews on Better Business Bureau anymore. That was one thing when I was at professional services. We used, we had a review generation software at that time that we did 4 options for people: Google, Facebook, Nextdoor, and the BBB. Because I felt like those were the 4 core ones outside of Yelp. Yelp, we were in a very conservative market. Yelp was not a thing. Nobody cared about Yelp in our market. The premise of that is like for 20 years, everyone's been focused on Google reviews. Got to get Google reviews, Google, everything go to Google. And I'm like, well, that's great. Well, now things are changing. And now if we don't have profiles on these other sites, reviews on these other sites, and ChatGPT is not going to pull from Google, you are kind of non-existent over there a little bit, at least to a little degree, because they have nothing to pull from that says you're a great company. And so we have to start thinking about that from an industry perspective of like, it's okay to still send a majority to Google, but start rationing that pie a little bit to send 10% here, 10% here, maybe 15% here, because those sources, and it's as easy as literally going and look, who's the best plumber in my area? Go on
Yeah.
ChatGPT, click the sources, you'll see the list, ask it some questions, see what other information's populating, because all of those, ChatGPT is essentially doing, like when humans search, we do one search at a time. ChatGPT is essentially doing like 10 or 15 different searches all at once to come up with an answer. So they're looking at all these different sources and say, here's, based on the searches I did, this is what I found. And so we have to be part of the conversation now. It's no longer about ranking number 1. It's about being part of the list. And then obviously your reputation can take it from there. But I do still think a lot of people on ChatGPT, let's say they get on the top 5 list, top 10 list, because tracking wise, I don't see a lot of people clicking to someone's website from there. So it's very hard for marketing companies to track that. I have seen people like Billy Klein, the door guy in, I can't remember the actual name of his company in Texas. I don't think he's terribly far from you guys, but he mentioned that like he's been going on sales calls lately to refine his sales process, and like 5 of the one day last week, 5 of 9 sales calls he had said ChatGPT. And I think what's happening is people are searching there, they're getting ideas, and then they're going to Google, and then they're looking, and they might be searching brand names, so they're going to show up as brand searches, which are not super helpful for making marketing decisions.
Right.
And so we're not going to be able to attribute that revenue properly without some
Yes.
sort of asking in home.
Isn't there a way to see like how, I thought I'd seen this before, to see like how many times you're showing up in LLM searches?
Yeah,
Or
it's
no?
essentially, because I actually did this. I was doing a AI search webinar earlier this spring, and I did this live, and I did like best HVAC contractor in Phoenix or something like that. And then I let it load, and I literally just copied and pasted the same exact prompt. I didn't give it any more information. I was logged out, so I didn't have any bias. Did the same prompt, and I did it a third time. And the list every single time was a little bit different. There were a couple of companies that showed up. I think all 3 times. There was others that showed up twice, others that only showed up once. And so I think where we're headed is going to be more tracking, like almost like a visibility percentage.
Yeah, it's like, right, like how many times you're going to be
Yeah, like how many
listed.
times out of 100 do you show up?
Right.
You're not going to show up every time. And I think that's super frustrating, not only for marketing
That
companies like
feels
us. who are-
harder to like optimize
How do you
for.
prove what you're doing is working when they don't show up every time? So they're sitting on their phone in their office. They're like, who's the best AC repair company in my area? They don't show up, and then they get mad. And you're like, well, but I do it, and I see you, and somebody else, and it's different because now we're in the era of personalized search, where like literally even Google, and I know a lot of contractor websites are not going to probably be listed for this, but there's a way. Darren Shaw actually shared it. He's a local SEO whiz. He's been doing it for a long time. And there's a way to mark your preferred sources, like your preferred websites, which to me would indicate if Google's doing that, you can maybe get your customers or clients to mark your website as like a preferred source. You show up when they search in Gemini or an AI search. I haven't been able to find too many contractor roles. Like I feel like it's like big brands that you can do that now, but it's interesting because we're headed to this age where like, social media, you can save a video, you can share it, save the link, and like that's normal. But on search, that's not normal. It's never been normal to like save a business or,
Right.
put them
You
as
can
your preferred
share
sources.
You can share a chat thread.
Correct. But like,
yeah,
with ChatGPT you can, but like Google, I don't think you might be able to
no,
share it, but I don't know. It's a little different on Google because it's still
no, yeah.
they're
And
trying to
Google still
they're trying to bridge old search versus new search,
right.
and so
So we talked about like maybe adjusting your review strategy just for the good of all good, right? Like, so Google's still really important. And I think that one thing with this whole thing, and maybe I'm wrong, but your SEO strategy is still beneficial for LLM search, for AI search. Like, it's still all of the things, like your offsite backlinks, your reviews, your everything that you're doing is still going to benefit you in AI search right now.
yeah, and I know people don't want to hear this, but like to rank an AI search, about 70 to 80% of it is just really good technical SEO.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
there are some nuances with that. I mentioned doing the search where you go and like who's the best AC company in San Antonio, and you get the list of sources. And there are, especially on ChatGPT, there are a ton of source of sites. They're all like directory sites or top 10 contractors in this. Most honestly, we did an entire study of our 150 clients, and we did like all the different keywords we were tracking. We literally made a massive master list of all these sites, how many times they showed up, so we can work like reverse engineering of like which sites do we need to focus on, because otherwise we're just praying and spraying, which is never a good strategy. But there's a lot, like I was just emailing back and forth, good contractors list. Most people have never heard of that. There's airconditioningup.com, like just really obscure sites, but they get pulled in if you're on that top 10 list, which those you can
So like
probably fake.
listicles. That's
Yeah, and
interesting.
I'm not telling anyone to fake reviews, but these profiles that are really obscure, you could probably get a couple fake reviews on there and be fine. And so that way bumps you to the top of the list. So you're in the top 10 for every whatever city you want to rank for. But there are hundreds.
Is it expertise or something? There's some like weird ones where they're like, you won 2025 something, and you're like, what even is this? And like, I don't
actually
know.
got
But
that when
exactly.
I actually first found out about like expertise.com, and the other one's 3bestrated.com. So they rank like the top 3 for all the trades and all the different industries. And we won expertise. I found out about it because they called and like asked a couple questions or something like that. And I found out about when I was in like 2018, but now that one populates a lot. And most people don't even know these sites exist. And so you have to do a lot of research on yourself. There's no, like, the days of taking care of directories and citations for marketing companies, was get a Yext listing, which Yext had a connection to 70, 80 listings, and you'd be on all the main ones, right? The yellow pages and all that stuff.
Right.
Now we have to do a lot of manual work. There's no connection with any of these things. It's all fill out a form, submit the listing, get it approved, claim it. Like it's really tedious, but it's important. So that's one change when it comes to AI search. That's different.
So
unique. It's still
what
on
if
the,
someone's listening to this, they could do a search and then click on the sources so they could see what some of these obscure websites are that are ranking contractors.
yeah, that's
And
the
then
easiest
fill out
way.
the form and add themselves.
Yeah, I mean, if you're good with AI agents and stuff, you can probably have an agent do it. And
I was
build an agent
thinking
to
you
do
could
that.
probably
You
automate
probably do
it.
that. I mean, sometimes it's, for me, is the juice worth the squeeze? I can just do a few searches, jot down a couple notes, and be done. But if you want to do that regular, you can definitely do that. So that's one thing that's definitely changed from, at least from what we see in our perspective. The other is that some stuff that used to not work, it worked, then it didn't work because Google changed the game a little bit. Now it's working again. Is press releases, getting your
Yeah.
business mentioned in the news. It sounds really silly, but it works really well, and it also gets a lot of backlinks and a lot of authority.
Yeah.
And then I think if these, so like I
That's
actually
what
saw
it
a
is.
story.
It's the authority, right? Like that's really important. It's
Yeah.
finding, along with these obscure sites, but finding like legitimate sites that are mentioning you.
Absolutely. And then I literally read this story this morning. So the vice president of the US, there was a Reddit thread. I think it's some AI thing or something, like AI thing put it on there, like that he died of rabies. Well, because it was on Reddit and a couple other news outlets picked it up because it was on Reddit, it ended up becoming a story. And of course he's not dead. So like it was this whole thing. And because AI engines are much easier to manipulate because they're trying to grab information from all these sources and they don't even know if these, like, Google's got a good ecosystem. Google's got trusted sites, even though sometimes we don't like working with those sites like Yelp. They know who the trusted sites are and who the trusted business are. Whereas like going on a Reddit thread, I can make up any damn thing I want.
Right.
I can say the craziest crap you've ever heard in your life, and it may be picked up as true by ChatGPT, which is scary because now you could have some idiots out there just saying whatever they want. And all of a sudden they could put super low pricing out there. Well, that gets picked up in your market. Now your homeowners that are searching be like, well, I thought that was only $150 and you're telling me it's $600. Why is that?
Okay. So, there's like two directions that I want to go and I can't decide which one I want to know more about, but I do it. Okay. I'm going to do this one first, even though I think the other one is interesting. So one thing, I can't remember if I brought this up to you before. I'm not any sort of SEO expert and I don't do a ton of time trying to figure it out because I keep my focus on social media. But Google has been indexing short form videos. So from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and websites. And it pops up every time in two categories under video and short form video. But like, how is that benefiting people? Obviously, like Google's indexing this, so it's doing something with it, but like, can it benefit you? How is it benefiting you besides in this search result?
I mean, anytime Google picks up anything of yours, I think it's a good thing. And that was a change sometime last year. They didn't really make an announcement. All of a sudden I just started seeing like videos pop up and short form videos. And I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. So I started looking at my own stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, there's that video I did the other week and picking up from all the different platforms. I think some of that change came from when they allowed you to connect your social media profiles to the Google business listing, which if you're listening to this, you haven't done that yet, please go do that. Go in your Google business profile. It's really easy. Social profiles, put the links in there, safe, super easy. So make sure you do that if you haven't done that. And if you don't have a profile on all those sites, those are great links too. So go sign up for Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, etc. You don't have to do anything on, just sign up for them.
Well, make your bio and make your bio really obvious, like HVAC and San Antonio.
Please say what you do in your bio. Like, you know what drives I'm real quick tangent is like, I go to Facebook, people request me as friends and all that kind of stuff. And I'm very particular. Like I won't just add anyone that requests me. I'm like, are they in the trades or do I know them personally? Those are like my two criteria.
Yeah.
And I see them like, I look at the profile, I'm like, I don't know what you do. Like, why would I add you? I only get you only get so many, right? You get 5,000 or whatever. And I'm getting fairly close to that. I'm like, I'm only going to work with people that want to work with me for business or people that know me personally. And people just,
your personal
put it in your
profile.
bio. It's so easy. Just put it in your personal bio.
Yeah. But also in your business bio, right? Like you're saying, create these business profiles. It should say what you do. What happens is that like I'll look at somebody's social profile or audit it. I do free social media audits and it'll be like, it'll have like their tagline, like have a problem, call us now. But like, that's not great for SEO. Your bios are also indexed by Google. That's like what they're pulling. And so it should just be so obvious what you do. It doesn't need to be your cute tagline. It literally needs to say AC
we
repair.
Fix broken air conditioners and furnaces. Just be super
like
direct.
Where you're at. Yeah. Say where you're at too, though.
And in the city.
In your city. And that's what it should say. And then if you have more characters, you can put more stuff there. Your phone number would be really great. But like, make it so obvious what you do. Make it easy for people to contact you. Connect, like put your phone number in there. Put your address. Like you want people to be able to reach you. And then do what you want. I mean, not really, but like those things are so important when you're setting up your social profile.
Yeah. And back to your video question. So yes, it's important, but one, I think a lot of people do searches from their mobile devices. So they may want to they prefer seeing videos. Now, it's weird. Like I like watching videos, but sometimes I like watching them on social media, like short form. The long form stuff, I'm like, I'll go to ChatGPT. Just like, tell me how to do the thing I need to do right now instead of watching a 15-minute video to get to the punchline. But I think the best strategy for that And this is where it gets hard for a contractor, right? Because like, let's say they have you as a vendor, they have us as a vendor, or maybe they're doing some of the social media in house or our stuff in house and coordinating everything. So that way the videos they produce has some sort of content on their website about it. And sometimes that fit isn't perfect because the blog post may not match the exact topic of the video. But I think those two things, because now you're combining Google and YouTube together, and I'm pretty sure ChatGPT can still see YouTube. I don't know if they pull as much from Google, but YouTube, they will, videos and stuff, because that's the most authoritative video source on planet Earth. You pair those things together and now you're starting to like double and triple your chances of showing up, because now we're hitting video, we're hitting written text. If you have good branded images and things, and there's some stuff on the SEO side, putting good branded images or even overlays on the images that you can show for image search. There's still a lot of people that like looking at images for different things. So there's a lot of ways to fine tune what you already have without having to go making new stuff.
Yeah.
That I think if you get, it's a centralizing the strategy is really what it is. It's not like, I think, and it's hard. Contractors got a couple vendors for different things and they don't know how to pull it together. And I think if they pulled it together somehow, so like a point person, a marketing manager, a marketing coordinator, CMO, if they're big enough, you can pull it together. We're like, okay, this is what I want and this is what we're doing. And then we can all work together to help the contractor be even more successful, because they're showing up for video and they're showing up for text as well.
Yeah. No, I think that's really great. Man, I should have written down what I was just thinking. Oh, I think what's hard about that is that it's like, what is your goal with social media? Is your goal to use it to benefit your Google and SEO strategy, or is your goal to use it as a visibility place for your business, which both of them are really important. But what is going to help you the most with your Google and SEO strategy is probably not going to be the most engaging content for like a social first strategy. So finding that balance is definitely going to be important with those two things.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think once you get dialed in and you're just used to being in content mode, you can do both.
Yeah,
I do both. We're starting to do some light, fun, silly stuff that's just for likes,
visibility,
and how people think and portray us. And the other stuff is more educational, and you have a mix of both. I think a mix is a good thing.
Absolutely. That's the 3S framework that we teach. Okay, we've got such a short period of time, but I really want to know, and I'm just going to ask it as like your fastest answer without getting so deep, but the question of the year, how can you use Reddit as a marketing strategy? Because I don't think you can. But what do you think with Reddit?
My quick answer would be monitor, first of all, just like Facebook groups, find if there's any subreddit threads with the city name. Phoenix, the different small towns probably don't have them, but like bigger cities, bigger metro areas probably do. Find those, monitor them first. Like you can go and you can set up Zapier. There's some other tools and stuff you can do that with, but at least monitor and just pay attention, start learning the platform.
Tab Recon monitors Reddit.
Yeah. Tersh and I have a tool that we built that monitors that, Facebook groups and some other things where you can just be like alerted that, hey, a thread that matched your keyword that you are targeting popped up, go reply, that sort of thing. But Reddit is tough. I mean, honestly, those threads, like sometimes I see the threads that are ranking, they're like 2 or 3 or 4 years old. Just go comment in them. Don't go spam. Don't treat it like a Facebook group where you just put your company name though. That is not what Reddit is for. Be part of the dialogue. Like you have to actually think about what you're saying. You can't just be like abcheating.com. Like, cause that's what people do in Facebook groups all the time. It drives me absolutely crazy because they're missing the opportunity by just engaging the poster and the people in the comments. They just do that. Like that's really hard. That's how I built Relentless. We did really well on social media with Facebook groups and professional services, but Reddit's different. Reddit, you have to be more thorough. You have to actually contribute. Otherwise they will hide your answers. They will get rid of them.
Yeah. And, I was at that Nextstar marketing event last week and people were asking about Reddit because Reddit is always like the topic of like, oh, well, just have a Reddit strategy. And like, I'm an active Reddit user. And so I have an understanding of the community, and it's just not that type of community. It's not like Facebook at all. And like someone said it really well at that event, and they were like, Reddit it's called a snark community. It's like most of the subreddits are like they lean super negative, and they're meant to be like a place where people are just complaining. And so if you're like if you don't understand the community and then all of a sudden you're just trying to like market your business, that is not the strategy. You have to spend some time in the community and figure out like how people are talking about things and what the conversation looks like before you just try to like create a marketing strategy for Reddit, I feel like.
Yeah, and it's bad. I mean, like, social media has kind of created the whole keyboard warrior thing, but Reddit takes that to another level because you don't even like most people don't put a profile picture.
Yeah, it's like
or name. Like,
anonymous.
you're not. It's not
5, 4, 3, 2,
connected to
1.
like a profile that your family and friends would see. So people are
Yeah.
like totally like almost like caveman style. We're back to like say whatever the heck you want. It doesn't even you have
Right.
there's no fear of consequences at all on Reddit.
I will say though, if you've never been on Reddit and you have any like niche interests, it is the best place to hang out because you can find people that have read the book that you just finished that you really love, or like finished watching the series that you watch, or like that's why I love it. Watched a movie, you watched a Netflix series, you can find like an entire Reddit sub community about people talking
And
about
you
it.
don't have
So
to join a group either, like another Facebook group,
yeah,
because we all have enough of those in our lives. Like
yeah,
I've so many Facebook groups. I had to start finally trying to delete some because it was just I was like, why am I seeing a post about this? I haven't lived there in 5 years. Like I don't want to see any
right.
posts here. But yeah,
But Reddit is where you can
very
find
unique.
your people. And if you like have like I love it like truly if I just finished a book and I'm like got this thing where I'm like what the heck in this book, I like to go to Reddit and find other people who are saying the same thing, so then I feel a little bit validated and I'm like okay, this is good, now we're fine.
Yeah,
That's what Reddit.
I think Reddit can be a good place, especially if you find those threads that are talking about your industry or your who to use or questions about their home. You can find some really good content ideas in Reddit as well.
True.
If you
Yeah,
go into it
conversations,
with that mindset,
questions.
don't go in there and be like, oh, all these homeowners are jackasses. I don't want to work with any of them. Go into it like, okay, here's the problems I'm seeing. It's just like, it's no different than going look at your customers' bad reviews and create content about why you're different, right? It's the same concept, but I think sometimes people struggle. And I'm sure you feel this way more than I do. They don't know what to create, what to talk about,
Mhm.
what to,
Yeah,
what
that's
type of
a really
there's
common
content
bottleneck.
everywhere. You just gotta change your mind and be like, oh, that's great content, Pete. Like you have to look for it. And as soon as you start looking for it, you kind of flip your brain that way. Instead of consuming, you're actually looking for ideas. It changes because I see content literally every day on Facebook. Everywhere I look, I'm like, oh, content idea, content. I mean, just like literally so many ideas I can't do. I have to pick the best ones because there's so many ideas out there.
Yeah, I love that. And if you weren't paying attention, Josh just gave a really great tip, which is go into your customers' reviews, like their 1 and 2 star reviews, and talk about what happened there and what you do differently. That was a really good one. Okay, so
Everyone
we're
should
coming
have
to
a
the
video
end
about
here.
that, about why they're never going to be late for an appointment, whether just whatever else that
Yeah.
gets said in the reviews. But it's such an easy place to just take something bad from someone else and turn it into something good.
Yeah, so good. All right, so we're coming to the end here of the Kee to Growth podcast, and maybe you remember this from the first time you were here, but we asked all of our guests, what is the key to growth? So what's the key to growth?
I'm going to say be relentless. And because business ownership is hard, there's no easy buttons. So you just have to every day wake up and with a mindset of no matter what happens today, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Like, because they will beat you to your knees. Like Jen and I were sharing some stories before this, but it'll beat you to your knees, even if you've been doing it for a while. So just stay relentless, keep going. Don't give up.
Absolutely. All right, so how can people find you? Where are all the places?
Yeah, I mean, our website's the best place if you want to book a call. It's relentless-digital.com. Otherwise, if you have generic or even specific marketing questions, you want to reach out to me on Facebook. I'm very active on Facebook, so that's probably the best
As long
place.
as your bio says that you're in a trades company, Josh will add you as a friend.
And if you say you heard about me from this podcast, I'm going to call you out and I will tell you that you need to update your bio because I said it in the podcast. Actually, you said it and I confirmed it.
So Josh is probably on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
All
the
the
places.
above, personal and business. I don't post on most of those, but my team does.
Someone's watching. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. This was awesome. A lot of to-dos from this podcast. that you can take back and start to optimize it, your social, your search, your website, your presence on Yelp, all the things. But thank you so much for your time. This has been great.
Thanks, Jen. Appreciate it.